welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Michelle and I'm part of the traveling family of 5. You know that we're a vlog channel, but every once in a while I like to sneak off and do these American versus the UK. Why? We were an American family that lived in the UK for about 6 years. So I'm here to tell you the dirty truth. Everybody loves to come to my inbox after I do these, and that's fine. And they love to tell me how many things are wrong with my video. And you guys know, I love you. So I don't mind that you come to my inbox and love to tell me the things that you think I've got wrong. These are always from a perspective from me living in the UK for the past 6 years. We have recently just moved back to America. One of the main questions I get is, what was the culture shocks coming back into America? When I was first asked this question, it was in the UK. What do you think your culture shocks will be? Well, none. I've been an American my whole life. I thought that question was totally absurd until our plane landed back in America. Quickly, and I mean quickly, as getting off the aircraft. Now, mind you, I've been in the UK for 6 years. I have not been back to America because we decided to take our time and travel, actually see the UK, see the entirety of Europe. So we were out, and if you travel my vlogs, you know I've went from one side of the UK to the other. I've tried foods that I wish I didn't. I've spat out food. I've enjoyed food. I'm soaking up the culture. I sat down at a table with a lady in Ireland and I tried to have a conversation with her for a solid hour as I ate my breakfast. I had no idea at the end what she said. Quickly, that was within the first 6 months of living in the UK. I understood the difference between Ireland and England. Before, I kind of thought it was all the same. So I'm the girl that's been out. I've traveled the UK, guys. I've seen it. What I say is not Googled. It's honestly, at the end of the day, my opinion, but it is from living in 2 different places, not just Googling information. Let's get into number one. Number one, since we stepped off the aircraft, the weather, guys. Yes, weather is part of our culture, whether you think it is or not, at the end of the day, because I personally never thought weather was part of my culture until I moved abroad. Now I quickly have learned that it is. Okay, we actually flew back into Atlanta. So Atlanta's known for its 4 seasons, guys. It does get a little bit of snow. It does get warm weather. It does get spring. It does get fall. The UK knows nothing about that, okay? So when we got off of the aircraft, the weather was the first thing that I noticed, and it was beautiful. The sun was out, and I know the UK, guys, gets a lot of crap about its crappy weather. That's because it's true. You can't tell me otherwise. I lived there. Now, is it crappy all the time? No. If you watch some of my vlogs, it does get hot in the UK. But most of the time, guys, I'm sorry, it's raining. If it's not raining, it's gloomy. There is beautiful summer weather. There is some. When we first moved to the UK, we moved in September. We thought, what are you crazy people talking about? This weather is fabulous. I have no idea what you're talking about, all this rain. Quickly, when we went into the winter months, we seen what they were talking about. And winter months go forever. Forever. You're getting a lot of rain, you're getting a lot of gloom. Me and my husband even had to start taking vitamin D because we were not getting enough sun. Like, our doctors were like, this is super low, this is not good for your body. They even, for us Americans coming over that's military, they give you sad lamps. Never. Okay, I'm a nurse. I mean, I know what sad lamps are, but I've never known anybody like truly using sad lamps. Maybe for psoriasis, but not for actually true sadness. They were offering these to us for free. And another thing that plays into that is because at first I thought I was in Alaska. I was like, is this like Alaska? Because their winter months, honestly, is dark by 3:30. The sun's going down. 4 o'clock, you're in your PJs thinking it's bedtime, okay? So some of that does play into it. It gets dark super early. And then I remember sometimes by 4 a.m., the sun's coming up. What and why? Weather was one of the first things that I noticed, guys. And I've had a lot of people come to my channel and they're like, well, New York gets this rainfall and Florida does. Currently, we live in Florida. If you look outside, it's kind of gloomy. This, if you're averaging falls, and it's Google, guys, it's going to tell you, I mean, let's get real. We have hurricane season for 4 months here. But we could go through a hurricane in Florida and it'd be sunny 2 hours later. So it's just something that's totally different. Like, we get a lot of the rainfall in Florida, but it's not an all-day thing like the UK. The UK can be gloomy for weeks at a time. Please understand in this video, I'm not saying one is better than the other. If you guys follow me, you know I am in love with the UK. Place that I thought I was gonna hate to start with, Michelle fell in love with. And my new title really should be a Southern girl because I'm from North Carolina. A Southern girl that's torn between two countries because honestly, I have love for both. And the other night we were actually talking about possibly going back because, you know, we're a military family. We do still move. We do still have options to go back there. And we had even discussed it because to Christian and I and Michaela is home. And I know this vlog's not about that, but I do want to clarify my 5 things or 10 things that come from the UK or the difference is not out of hatred. It's not out of slamming one country. I'm in love with both. But it's just to give you honest answers. And we honestly, like me and Christian were talking about, we never thought we could have 2 homes. Like, honestly, guys, it doesn't matter where you're from. If you're a military family, like North Carolina is always home for me, even though we live in Florida. But I told my husband the last night that, I mean, I think 2 places are Christian, Michaela, and I, my home now. So, yeah, I used really bad grammar there. Anyways, us 3 just feel like 2 places are home now. And I don't know that many people in their lifetime, in this walk of life, could honestly say that. So guys, please know I love you. This is not a hate video. It's just my honest opinion. The weather is different. Second, straight off the aircraft, what I noticed, Southern hospitality. Guys, remember we landed in Georgia. That is a Southern country. It is probably about 3 hours from where I grew up in North Carolina. When you say Southern hospitality, if you've never been to the South in America, American can get a bad rap. I mean, let's get real. We got California mixed in. That's considered America. To us Southern, did we claim it? Well, Southerners do it a lot different. The hospitality when I got off that aircraft was so amazing. It was back to the yes ma'ams, no sirs. We were kind of laughed at when we used that in Great Britain. Now, Great Britain have some of the sweetest, most polite people. Do not get me wrong there. I absolutely love the Brits, but it's not like a Southern hospitality there. So that is one thing that I picked straight up on as soon as I came back into America was the yes ma'ams, no sirs. Please, I can help you. We'll do this. The Brits get a reputation for kind of running from people, or it's like saying hi but not really wanting to say hi. I kind of disagree with that. I've met beautiful, beautiful British people along my walk there in the UK, and I would say they're nothing but amazing people. Besides the lady that kind of attacked me about my dog and told me to piss off. That was new to me. But for most, overall, the British are very enjoyable people. But the hospitality is a little bit different when I got off the aircraft. So that was number 2 for me. Number 3 on my list is language, guys. So when we got orders to move to the UK, everybody made the running joke, oh, you're gonna go learn to speak proper English. I'm gonna get a lot of hate right here, but I don't know that I agree after living there. I know some of my words sound absurd. Some of their words sound absurd. But that was one of our main struggles when we came back. A lot of people will tell you, hey, you're from Texas. Not from Texas, guys. I don't know why the UK only thinks the South is Texas, but it's not. I'm from North Carolina. But I never lost my accent. It's way too Southern. But there were key words that we picked up on. And if you watch my vlogs, you know that my daughter, Michaela, I think she wants to be British. Like, she speaks very British. And when I say speaks very British, it's not necessarily the accent. My son does it too. It's not necessarily the accent that comes out. It's the word phrasing, if that makes sense. Give it a go. What just give it a go. I even catch myself saying now, give it a go. You say give it a go around here in America, they're like, give it a go. So America is very different from up north to down south. There's a lot of things we say y'all and things like that that maybe up north don't necessarily agree with anyways, but there's definitely things that are British that we brought back with us. We walk in to get our phone service. This was probably day 2, day 3 coming back into America. And one of my daughters looked at the lady and she's like, can I get a top-up plan? That young girl looked at her like she'd lost her mind. She's like, a top-up plan? What's a top-up plan? It took us a minute to even realize, why don't you know what a top-up plan is? And I was like, well, you know how you pay as you go? And she's like, yeah, so you want to pay as you go? And I'm like, sure. So little things like that. My son's sitting down at breakfast. I want scrambled. The lady laughs at him. So you want scrambled eggs? And I know it's just putting the eggs with it, but, or my son also, or us, yeah, we'll take mash tonight. They're like, mash? Like mashed potatoes? So in America, it's big. You say scrambled eggs. You say mashed potatoes. In Great Britain, you kind of slang some of that stuff. Or in England, it's just scrambled or it's top-up plans. So a lot of those things, and I could probably sit here and go on for hours about just the little things that we still carry from the UK that we get very strange looks when we're out here saying, and I don't even realize it till after I say it, and I'm like, I think that was kind of British, because they start running together now that I've lived there so long and just pick up on those things that I don't even catch myself doing it. And I thought I was so Southern that you couldn't change me. And I've even noticed some times I'm doing it. So that was number 3 for us. Number 4. Okay guys, time to get down to the dirty part of this video. The part where some of you are going to turn it off. The part where some of you are going to unsubscribe. But it was very much heavily hit us when we came back American politics, okay? I don't do this on this channel because my beliefs are my beliefs. Can't really change them. Not any point in arguing. The world is out there arguing enough about America's political views. But guys, we came back during a pandemic. We came back during one of the biggest election years America will ever probably in history face. God, I hope it's one of the biggest ones. We came back in the middle of a political sandstorm. So that was huge culture difference. The only reason I say that, guys, the UK ain't perfect either. They got their Brexit and stuff that they're dealing with. They have their own stuff. But here's the difference between being an American military family. Military holds strong to certain things, okay? We serve our country. My husband serves our country. I like to think of it as a unity because I'm not the military member, but the wives, if you're a military wife or a military spouse, you know you're holding a lot on your end too of holding the family going while these men or women are gone and out serving their country. But we lived, I don't care who tells you differently, if you're an American living in the UK, you get to live in a bubble. And that's what I've called it since day one. Did not realize how big of a culture shock it was until we came back, or how big of a bubble we were kind of living in. But it was a political bubble. And when I say that, that means I don't care what the UK is doing, because really, it don't affect my daily life. I don't know what America's tripping about, because really, you're not affecting my daily life. So I'm not having to deal, or we were not having to deal with a lot of the political stuff from either end. It was like a free space. But when we came back into America, it hit us dead in the face, from seeing signs to media to text messages from Republican or Democratic parties that randomly get your number and they get to promote through your phone. That was new to me. What? Maybe I'd been gone from America too much that I became a little sensitive to all that. It was very, I'm trying to use a word here appropriate for YouTube and for my followers. It was very overcoming. Don't even know if that would be a word or the word I should be using. It kind of hit us in the face, okay, guys, as it still is. And you just kind of like, whoa, calm down. So that was a very big culture shock coming back. And I'm going to leave that one as that. and not really touch base on it anymore, because you guys know where I could go with that. Many levels I could go with that. Okay, let's move on to number 5. If you haven't turned this video off yet, thanks for staying for number 5. The food, guys. Okay, this is not, I mean, I would probably do other videos. If you watch my vlogs, you can't help but, I mean, some of it is part of my content, because it's just things that we are facing right now as we freshly have moved back to America. But number 5 is food. There's plenty more we could talk about, but I will end the video with food. The UK gets slammed, okay? I didn't realize how much they get slammed till I moved there about their awful food. Okay, so I became known as the American in the UK, guys. Why? Because I became the tea butcher. I'm making tea that don't make sense. It all started with me making sweet tea. Sweet tea is on every table in true Southern culture families back in America. And I even had a lot of Americans that come and attack me about my tea. Probably Northern people, talking about, why don't you have a kettle? Americans have a kettle. And all this nonsense because I made sweet tea from a pot on a stove. That is not uncommon in Southern families in America. But to the UK, they were floored that Americans would be out here doing something like that and not on a kettle, guys. I still don't own a kettle. Sorry. Maybe one day when I do, I'm gonna make it public everywhere that Michelle bought a kettle. But food is definitely, like, I think that's soul food. It kind of represents your country. And the UK, so the more I studied, the more I learned, the more I tried the stuff. Guys, if you watch some of my vlogs, I was trying chips. I tried everything, I think, in the UK. And I'm going to make some more vlogs about, I want to try to cook them. UK gets slammed for their food. And honestly, it's just because they don't make it like America does. And I think we don't understand that. And when we go over there, we think it's bland, or it's this, or it's that. And because they're not using it, like, now they have a sugar tax. While we were over there, a sugar tax was introduced. So now they're no longer putting sugar in some of their Coke products, or it's being taxed at a very high end that you don't want to pay for that stuff. So, okay, Coke without sugar is fine. Different things. They don't add a lot of preservatives. Americans are so used to these things that we eat. We honestly have no idea how bad it is for us. Shh. I am American. I did say that. You don't realize how bad American food is until you've left this country. You've came back, and then I think for like a solid week, our stomachs were so tore up. Now, don't give Americans too much hate, because I've went to other countries in Europe. We always laugh anytime that you go from, let's say, the UK to Slovenia, the UK to even Ireland. Your stomach is going to get messed up because it's just different, and your stomach's trying to get used to all the new things that are introduced. That definitely happened back here in America, but I can definitely say we were super excited when we came back to get all the things that we had been missing. Then when we got back, we were kind of like, was it as good as you thought it was when we left? Have we been jaded by the UK's healthy food? How dare they? Now, mind you, guys, I love you, remember, but some of the food in the UK is still just blah. Some of the food in America is still blah, and I'm wondering what they're doing. So, I'm not necessarily saying that, oh, one's better than the other, you know, all that nonsense, but the UK is definitely a healthier version than American food. A lot of it's fresh produce, fresh this, the fruit. If you watch my husband, the 10 things he loves about the UK, fruit was on there, and I laughed at him because I was like, really? That's what you're going to put in your 10 things? But it's the honest truth. I mean, the fruit is so fresh. I've never had fruit that tasted like the UK's fruit, besides Croatia, guys. Sorry, the bigger shout out would go to Croatia because they're stomping everywhere in the world for fruit. But the UK's fruit is just better than America. And so many things, like even just the translation back to language, they call it a fillet over there, which is a steak. We call it a fillet. But even, now they did have a buttery sauce. I know that junk wasn't healthy, that they'd put it on in the UK that I can't seem to find back here in America. So there was certain things, guys, that was bad eating in the UK too. But overall, the taste difference is a big thing, and the freshness and the healthiness of the UK food. Coming back into America, I instantly noticed the difference between the food. You're not already tired of hearing me talk. You've stayed to the end of the video. Thanks. Hopefully you don't hate me. I know every time I do the American in the UK, everybody gets so sensitive and a lot of, that's not right and that's not correct. Sorry guys, I didn't Google my information. I live there, and a lot of stuff comes from Google that some other YouTubers do. I do love it that some Americans that live in the UK do their real content, and they are putting out like them truly living there. But if you truly live there, you know that Google's a lie, and when they're getting those statistics, it's based off certain things like our rainfall. Yeah, we go through a hurricane season. That would be easy to say Florida gets more rain than the UK. Florida might actually even, the state of Florida, might actually even be bigger than the UK as a whole. But anyways, pretty sure it is. But our rainfall may be more, because you got to realize for 3 or 4 months, we go through a hurricane season. So it adds up a lot in your rainfall. So it is different when you live there, guys. Giving you the true and real version of Michelle's opinion. Hopefully you come back for the next video. If so, I'll see you in the next. Bye.